This is super interesting as well because I've actually never done one of these and I only came across how to do it pretty much today. So I wanted to come on here because I'll be able to really help you guys out live. And also if I have time at the end, we'll be able to answer some questions, right? And something that's really been going around my mind is the amount of people that understand, quite well and also are aware of the law of attraction, okay? But what I found with most people is they know about it, but their results stay the same, especially with entrepreneurs, pretty much 90% of entrepreneurs are always stuck around £3,000 to £5,000 a month. And a lot of entrepreneurs believe that you've really got to sacrifice a lot of time to become successful. So I really wanted to come on here and just show you exactly why the law of attraction isn't working for you and exactly how to fix it, right? And also let me know where you're tuning in from. I am in Marbella. I've been having an absolutely incredible time. I've came here to see my mentor and I thought I'll make a holiday out of it as well, okay? So in terms of the law of attraction, the first thing that we need to understand is that we don't attract what we want. We ask most people what they want, you're probably going to turn around and go, I want to make 5 figures every month. I want to be able to travel and also make lots of money at the same time, right? Lots of people want these things. I want to be able to spend time with my family, spend time with my partner at the same time as make, lots of money. But the law of attraction doesn't respond to what we want, okay? We never attract what we want. The law decrees that we attract what we are. So when I say to most people, what do you want? And they say, well, Joel, I really want to build a business. I want to stop being stuck at £3,000 to £5,000 a month. And I want to make 5 figures every single month while still being able to travel and still be able to do things and not sacrifice my whole time, right? And I say to them, well, how are you feeling right now? And they'll start reeling it off. I'm frustrated. I feel stuck. I feel disappointed. And I say, well, let's think about this, right? You want to get to 10,000 a month. And I'm assuming if you're watching this, you know about the laws of the universe, you know about the law of attraction, and you want to get to over £10,000 a month. But you're not going to get what you want. You get what you are. So if you're saying, I want £10,000 a month, I want lots of money, I want to be able to go to these incredible locations and really show my family the world, you're not going to get it until you become it. So if you want something, but you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling stuck, the universe doesn't respond to your words. That's one thing that you've really got to understand. The universe does not respond to your words. It responds to your emotions, okay? So if you're saying to the universe, I want to attract £10,000 every single month and work half the amount of time. Universe, that's what I want. But as you're saying it, you're feeling, I feel stuck, I feel broke, I feel poor. The universe doesn't understand your words. The only thing the universe is picking up is your vibration, which is frustrated, feeling like you've got to grind, hustle all day. And trust me, I can relate because I've been there, okay? Hi, Oscar. Hi, RM. I've been there. I was stuck for 8 years, making £15,000 a year. And I was sacrificing everything, my health, my time. I was eating food whilst I'm working, really stressed out, okay? And my income didn't change. And all of that time, I wanted it to change. Now, it wasn't until I changed me, I changed what was going on inside, that I started changing what I was attracting. Hey, Carol, hope you're doing incredible, okay? So it's very important. Affirmations, I like that, okay? And we're going to get into affirmations and how to make them work, okay? Because we can say 1,000 times when we wake up, I am wealthy. We can say that using our words. But if we're not feeling the emotion of wealth, then you can forget about it. You're going to keep attracting the same amount of money that you're earning, right? And this is very important that business owners understand this because most people really think that you've got to grind and you've got to work really hard, okay? When you start using the law of attraction properly, it couldn't be further away from the truth. I mean, I travel pretty much bi-weekly, I'm working 2 to 3 hours a day and I always attract money because inside I feel wealthy, okay? So it's very important to understand that the universe is responding to your vibration and what you're feeling. It's not responding to your words, okay? Now, also, you're also going to attract what's familiar to you. Think about that. Whatever's familiar to you, if you've been making £3,000, £5,000 a month for the past 5 years, then you're going to keep attracting that because to your subconscious mind, that amount of money is very familiar, okay? Now, you can fantasize all day long. You can sit in bed and visualize for 6-7 hours. You can write your goal 1,000 times. You're not going to attract what you fantasize about. You're going to attract what feels familiar to you, okay? So you've got to be familiar within you. What does it really feel like to have money, okay? Now, this is where your imagination comes into play, and you need to go into your imagination and see yourself with £10,000 coming into your bank every single month. Through repetition of imagining that, your subconscious mind is going to see it as familiar because you've been there so many times in your imagination. So that's very important to understand. Now, your subconscious mind is the gatekeeper of attraction. It's as simple as this. Now, psychologists and psychiatrists, they may tell us that there's loads of parts to the mind, okay? And I'm not saying there's not. But for me and you, we only need to focus on 2 things, okay? That's our conscious mind and that's our subconscious mind, okay? Now, our conscious mind is our thinking mind. That's where you gather information and that's where you have thoughts, okay? Now, your subconscious mind is very different to your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind is the mind that's in control of your emotions. That's why you can be saying in your mind, I'm very happy, and you can be feeling like shit, okay? Because your subconscious mind is the gatekeeper of attraction. It's as simple as that. So what you've got to do is you've got to rewire your subconscious mind like you already make £10,000 every single month. Like you attract money whilst traveling the world, whilst having that time freedom, whilst not building a business that you become a prisoner to, okay? That's very important to understand. And also there's a word that you're probably familiar with. I'm assuming if you've tuned into this live, you know about my mentor, Bob Proctor. You probably read this book by Rhonda Byrne, The Secret, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? So you have some knowledge on the subconscious, okay? Now, paradigms determine your income. It's as simple as that. Now, all a paradigm is it's a multitude of habits, ideas, beliefs, and behaviors that are inside of your subconscious mind. So if you've got a belief inside your subconscious mind that you are not worthy of making a lot of money, I don't care if you never sleep and you sit at your computer or you hustle 24 hours a day. If your subconscious mind doesn't believe that you're worth that amount of money, you can forget about it, okay? Now, the only reason that I can travel and visit all of these opulent places, and I'm telling you the truth, I work like 2-3 hours a day. The only reason I can do that is because your money is not dependent upon how many hours you work. It's dependent on what you subconsciously believe you're worth. So if you keep making £3,000 to £5,000 a month, that's telling you right there and then that your subconscious mind only believes that you're worth £3,000 to £5,000 a month. Now, once your subconscious mind believes that you're making £10,000 a month, £20,000 a month, £50,000 a month, it alters your vibration and then it alters what you attract. It's powerful, right? That was very difficult for me to comprehend when I first got into this material. When I was reading Think and Grow Rich and Napoleon Hill was talking about money never comes from hard work, I thought he was talking bullshit. I genuinely didn't believe him because I was programmed that if you want to earn a lot of money, you've got to be a go-getter, you've got to be a hustler, and it's far from the truth, okay? So that's important to understand. Now also, to attract more, you don't have to work more, you don't have to change your marketing, your industry. If you want to attract more, the only thing that you've got to do is become more. It's as simple as that. You've got to create a version of you that is making £10,000 plus every single month. You've got to be that person now. So when you really think about that, like, who is that version of you? How does that version of you think? How does that version of you show up within within your business? What type of people does the version of you that makes 5 figures every single month, what company do they keep? Is that version of you a procrastinator? Or do they get up and do they get stuff done? You know? So you've got to I would really suggest writing down the attributes and the behaviors and the habits that the version of you that makes £10,000 plus a month has. Okay? Now remember, we don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. So if you want to attract more, forget focusing on the outside. The outside is the effect. The cause is you. You want to attract more, then you've got to become more. Okay? It's very important to understand. Now also, pay attention to this, guys. I would write this down. Okay? Manifestation is not a game of getting. Manifestation is not a game of getting. Manifestation is a game of already having. Think about that. Do you feel within you right now that you are already making £10,000 a month? Because if you don't, it's not going to happen. You've got to feel it. Once you feel it, remember, feeling is a word that we made up to describe conscious awareness of vibration. If you feel like you're making £10,000 plus a month already, that means that you're on the vibration of the version of you that makes £10,000 plus a month. You can forget about working hard, okay? Once you're a vibrational match for 5 figures a month, I don't care if you work 1 day a week, you will attract it. I love it, okay? Now, 5 figures every single month, big amounts of money is going to follow the feeling that you already possess big amounts of money. Money is going to follow the feeling that you already possess money. Now, pay attention to what I said. I didn't say that money is going to follow working 16-hour days. Money is going to follow sacrificing your time. No, money is going to follow the feeling that you already possess money. Like, play with me for a minute, okay? Use your imagination. If you was making £10,000 plus a month right now, how would you feel? Where would you be? What would you be doing? What would your life look like? What would you be doing with your family? Then hold that feeling. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, you might be asking, how am I supposed to feel like I make £10,000 plus a month when I'm still stuck at £3,000 a month? Think about your loved ones. Let's say you don't see someone that you love for a month. You don't need to see them to feel the love for them, okay? So if you hold that feeling within you, as within, so without, and you're going to attract everything that you need, as long as you're on the same vibration as it, okay? YouTube user, I'm not sure what your name is. Can you read my last? Yeah, so in terms of helping you, what I would recommend is going to the link in the description of this live and downloading my free £10,000 plus month breakthrough blueprint. Okay? Listen, I've been mentored by the best. You know about The Secret, then you're probably going to know about my mentor, Bob Proctor. And I'm not coming on here thinking this works. I know this works. So I would download that. It's completely free and apply what's in it. Don't just read it, apply it. Okay? So what we've also got to do is we've got to stop sending double binding messages to the universe. Now, a double binding message is saying one thing and doing another thing. So if you're saying, universe, thank you so much for this £10,000 plus that I make every single month through my business. If you're saying that, but you're not doing anything about it, you're not reaching out to prospects, you're not making YouTube videos and giving value, you're not doing anything about it, then nothing's going to happen. You can't say one thing and then do another thing, okay? The last 6 letters of attraction is action. And if you guys, I'm going to probably stay on for about another 5 minutes, but if you guys have got any questions, fire them away. You know, I want to help. But I'd really suggest going to the link in the description and downloading the £10,000 plus month breakthrough blueprint, okay? Why do you spend your time helping people for free? That's very charitable. Do you also support charities financially and give help to kids at school that are entrepreneurial? Okay, so the reason that I help people for free is because I work in harmony with the laws of the universe. One of the laws is the law of attraction, which you guys know about. Now, there's other universal laws, the law of gravity, the law of opposites, the law of vibration. When you give for free, you're working in harmony with the law of receiving, okay? Because most people, they want to receive £10,000 plus a month, right? You're watching this, you know, you're an entrepreneur, you're making £3,000 to £5,000 a month, and you want to receive £10,000 plus a month, okay? Now, to receive, the law says that we first must have to give. So I know if I post on YouTube, if I come on here and I give you all of the resources that you need to go and make a lot of money, the law says, Joel, if you give, you will receive. But most people, they sit at home waiting to receive, you know? There's a funny story about a couple that moved to a new neighborhood, right? And after a couple of weeks, the wife looked very miserable in the house, and the husband said, you know, honey, what's wrong with you? And the lady said, I don't think none of the women in the neighborhood don't like me because, you know, when I walk past them, they don't smile. And the husband said, have you tried smiling at them? Most of us wait to receive something, but we first must give, you know. If you want someone to love you, you've got to go out and love. If you want people to be happy towards you, you've got to be happy towards them. If you want to make a lot of money, you've got to go out and serve people. Because if I help one person on this live win, the law says that I have to win. So that's why I do this for free. California, I love it. Born in Newmarket, England. I love that. I'm a Mancunian, my man. Okay? Now, changing your paradigm is the missing link. If your paradigm doesn't change, then nothing's going to change. And the crazy thing about our paradigm is most of our beliefs are not even ours. You know, they're just things that our parents, they didn't mean to. They was operating with their own belief system, but they're the beliefs that we have about not being worthy, you know, having to work really hard, money's the root of all evil. All of these beliefs that when we hold them up to the light, they're complete bullshit, right? But if we believe them, they're true to us, okay? Now, when we was a baby, we didn't have a conscious mind. Our subconscious mind was wide open, and our parents just put whatever they wanted into there, okay? So if you grew up in poverty like me, most of your beliefs are going to be poverty. And if you don't change them beliefs, if you don't take them negative, unproductive ideas out of your paradigm and replace them with new and more positive ones, then nothing's going to change. And if you don't believe it, then believe that I believe it. Because abundance is your birthright. It's your birthright. And the truth always resonates with you. Okay? So if you want money, claim it. Okay? Now, money goes where it's welcome. Pardon me. Money goes where it's invited and it stays where it's welcome. I want you to think of money like a person. Okay? How would money feel about your relationship with it? Are you telling money you love it? Or are you having conversations like, why don't I have enough? Why am I so unlucky? Because you are the creator of your reality. For me, it's not knowing my gift or strength to attract money. You don't need no gift or strength. You don't need to do nothing. You need to be still and know that you already are rich. What does it feel like to be rich? Hold that feeling, and the gifts and the ways, the resources, the ideas, the business venture will come to you. We're not forcing it, we're attracting it by being the person that feels like they're already wealthy. I told you before, we can say over and over and over again, I am wealthy, until you're blue in the face. If you don't feel it, it's not going to work, because feeling is the language of the subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is in control of your vibration. So when someone says to me, Joel, I feel rubbish today, all I hear is that they're on a rubbish vibration. And whilst they're on that vibration, the Lord decrees that all they can attract is rubbish things. So if you can wake up and you can say, I am wealthy, and you feel that feeling within your body, that means that you are on a wealthy vibration. As long as you stay on that vibration, all you can attract is wealthy things. And this works like magic, okay? And if you're really serious and committed, then I would suggest booking a one-to-one call with me. You know, I've been mentored by the best. Within 13 months, I have become top 1% of Bob Proctor's coaches worldwide. I have helped many people like you go from £3,000 to £5,000 a month to £10,000 a month, and they've never gone back again. And I don't need you to work hard. I need you to do what I tell you to do until you find out that I'm lying or I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'll tell you right now, I never lie, and I really do know what I'm talking about, okay? Now, my calendar is very busy, okay? But what I've done is I've opened up the next few days because I really want to support you guys. But if you're watching this and you're like, I am interested, or, you know, I'm a bit interested in making £10,000 a month and, you know, getting my time back, then I don't want you to book the call. It's probably not for you, okay? But if you're really serious and committed, then go and grab one of them limited spaces, and I will walk you through exactly how to get from 3 to 5K a month to over £10,000 a month, and I'll help you. I'll show you the subconscious blocks that are keeping you stuck at that income. Okay? Any questions before I go? Pop them in. But I really want to share this paragraph with you. One of my favorite books, The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. It's an incredible book, and it's touching on the law of attraction, what we've just been talking about. Now, Neville says man attracts what he is. Even that them few words are just incredible. Man attracts what he is. So what are you right now? If you're frustrated, then you attract frustration. Man attracts what he is. Now, the art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let things come to you. You've got to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That's incredible, okay? So I love dissecting little sentences. So he says, the art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let things come to you, not to go after them or think that they flee away. So he says, you've got to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So let me help you implement what Neville's saying. What would it feel like if your wish was fulfilled? What would that feel like? If you was making £10,000 every single month and you was only working a few hours every single week, what would that feel like? Now hold that feeling. Stay in that feeling, stay in that vibration, and you'll attract it. That's incredible. The art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let things come to you. Now, why does he say let things come to you? Because if you're in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are on the vibration that your wish has been fulfilled. Law of attraction is a secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration. It's the vibration that your body's in that's dictating what you attract. Whoa. Now pay attention to this. He says, observe your inner talking and remember your goal. Do they match? Does your inner talking match what you would say out loud had you achieved your goal? Answer that honestly. Now, your inner talking is your inner speech, your mental conversations. Does your inner talking match what you would say to me out loud if you was making £10,000 plus every single month? Now, the person that is making £10,000 plus every single month would not be saying in their mind, I need £10,000 a month. I want to. Like, if you was already making it, you wouldn't have that mental conversation. You wouldn't say, I want to. Want to is implying to the universe that you don't have. The person that has it would be saying, wow, I'm so thankful that I make 5 figures every single month. And you can only be thankful for something that you've got. If you can be grateful for 5 figures every single month, even though it's not yet in your reality, then your gratitude is going to bring it towards you. Gratitude implies that you have. Universe, I'm so thankful that I make 5 figures every single month. Just thank you so much. And feel it, embody it, okay? That's very powerful. Now he says, the individual's inner speech and actions attract the conditions of his life. Through uncritical self-observation of your inner talking, you're going to find where you are in the inner world. And where you are in your inner world is what you are in your outer world. That's some powerful shit. Okay? Now he says, the right inner speech is the speech that would be yours were you to realize your goal. In other words, it is the speech of fulfilled desire. I want you walking around showing thanks. If you keep thinking about £3,000 to £5,000 a month, you're going to keep attracting it. Okay? I'm so happy and grateful that I am now making 5 figures every single month. And you choose the 5 figures. 10,000 is just a starting point. If you want 20, 30, 40, then start giving thanks for it, okay? But you've got to feel it. Feeling's the secret. I'd rather you say an affirmation once in the morning and feel it than say an affirmation 1 billion times and you don't feel it. The universe is responding to your emotions, not your words, okay? Amazing. And remember, book that call with me, okay? It's a first come, first served basis, and I'll show you exactly what to do. Now, have we got any questions? Have you heard the mantra that you become the 5 people that you hang around with the most? Yeah, for sure, I'm a big believer. Your environment is more important than hereditary, you know? If hereditary was more important than your environment, I'd still be broke. Because everyone around me, my hereditary, my genes, ain't no one made big amounts of money. I'm a true believer that you are the average of the books that you read and the people you spend the most time with. You know, successful people attract successful people. Alcoholics attract alcoholics. Drug addicts attract drug addicts. Goal achievers attract goal achievers. Failures attract failures. Procrastinators attract procrastinators, okay? But you ain't got to worry about your environment. You haven't got to change your environment. You've got to change you. Because the people that you are attracting right now, it's not them, it's you. When you change you, you're going to change not just the money that you attract, but the people as well, okay? But yeah, I'm a big believer in you are the 5 people you hang around with the most, you spend time with, okay? I feel like your behaviors are led to what you become. That's a lagging factor to it. A person that studies hard becomes a good student. Yeah, of course, but behaviors are controlled by what you think about most of the time, okay? Yeah, your behavior is a byproduct of how you're feeling. If you're feeling terrible, you are not going to behave nice to a person, are you? If you feel happy, then your behaviors are going to be happy towards others and you're going to cause them to be happy. Okay? So you don't have to worry about your behavior. If you're feeling negative, your behavior is going to be negative. But this is what most people do. They're trying to change something that's the effect. Think about that. Your behavior is the effect. The cause is what you're emotionally involved with. And you get to choose every single thought that you think. Okay? So my behaviors are what led me to become who I am now, of course, but my behaviors and yours are all led off our emotions. And our emotions are a byproduct of what we think about. Like, you can't be feeling rich while walking around all day saying in your head, I'm poor. You know? It's just not going to work. It's like, it's stupid, to be honest. But people are just not aware of this, right? They're complaining about their life, not understanding that they're the creator of what they're seeing. Because it's your inner talking that's going to create tomorrow. You know, I'm in Marbella now. I was in Monaco, Nice, Cannes, Barcelona, all within the space of like 2 months. And the Caribbean, okay? But I already felt like I could do these things before I did. Otherwise, it would have never happened. So someone might say, Joel, when you made £35,000 in a month, like, how did it feel? You know, was you surprised? And I'm like, fuck no, I weren't surprised because I felt it so many times already. Okay? No, I didn't know that, but I love that. Did you know procrastinate is from the Latin procrast, which means for tomorrow? Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. Forget about your behaviors, okay? Forget about your emotions, because both of them are a primary cause of what you're thinking about. Like, what are you thinking about? We literally become what we think about. Are you thinking about all of your problems, or are you thinking about all of the amazing things in your life? Are you thinking about prosperity, or are you thinking about poverty? Because you're not going to feel prosperous while you're thinking about debt or stuff like that, right? Yeah, the root cause of it, right? And that's why my clients get results. Because we're going to the primary cause of your results, which is your paradigm. You know, if you don't change your paradigm, your vibration, your mental programming, then nothing's going to change. And the only way to do that is through constant spaced repetition of new ideas over and over again, combined with the help of an experienced mentor. That's the only way. Because it's not just the transfer of information and knowledge. That's not going to get you to 10K plus a month. It's the application of the knowledge. I knew about the law of attraction for years, like 8 years, nothing changed. And I thought I was all smart and stuff, but my results didn't change. It wasn't until I got the right direction and I learned how to apply this material that I turned my yearly income into a monthly income. And then shortly after, I became a consultant with Bob Proctor's company, PGI, and within like 12 months, maybe a month over, 13 months, I became top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants, okay? And if someone like me can do it, then you can definitely do it, okay? But there is still no tomorrow, and the universe loves speed, okay? We've gone over. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I would really suggest taking action, watching this again, booking the one-to-one call with me, and let's get you to 5 figures a month. Let's collapse time, and let's get you that time freedom, okay? Have an incredible day, and thank you, okay? You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me. You're willing to learn, and I really I admire that about you, okay? I'm gonna go and enjoy my evening now. Have an incredible night.